Welcome back, Talk family, and thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Talk the Talk. I'm your host, Dish Balay Bechin, and joining me today is Stacey Grace, and she is the dealer principal at Hatfield Ford Amanzimtoti. So I think people in KZN knows it as Ford Toti, but Hatfield has just recently acquired the Fury Motor Group, and now they are Hatfield Motor Group. Stacey can be described as a beautiful, determined, and ambitious woman. Now, I know this personally because I've been working with her. She was one of my nominees or finalists last year, semi-finalist, and what a ride, what a journey with her. She leads a team with confidence and strength. She's worked very hard and has put in a lot of effort to be where she is today. As a female dealer principal, she sure has shown her female colleagues that anything can be accomplished if you put in effort and hard work, along with a whole lot of determination. Now, Stacey has spent almost 20 years, that's 2 decades in the motoring trade. So we are going to learn a lot from her today. Without further ado, let's welcome Stacey. And as always, this interview is proudly brought to you by Seriti Solutions, MFC, and Avo by Nedbank. Hello, Stacey.
Hello, and thank you so much for having me.
Let's not just be so formal about this. We pals, right? Stace, you have come all the way from KZN not to see me. You came for the awards that happened last night, in the Ford function that's happening tonight and tomorrow. So I'm not going to get all happy about this and feel so privileged because actually you're not here for me. It's your turn to deny that now. Stacey, this is so long overdue. We were supposed to do this last year.
Yes.
And I just want to just backtrack a bit and talk about the charity drive we had last year.
Yes.
I just want to thank you again for being a part of that.
Yes.
And for being, you went to the semi-finals last year, but still you are so consistent in your support for this movement. But also it's because you understand that it was never a competition. It was a movement, or it is a movement where we just uplift, empower, and motivate each other. So thank you for continuing this journey with me.
Oh, pleasure, Dish, and thank you for allowing me to be on the journey with you and your team.
You're welcome. So Stace, let's start off by telling our viewers about your journey in motoring South Africa.
So I started as a 23-year-old new car sales person in the motor industry. I quickly learned that my passion was about delivering cars, and the excitement in the motor industry just made it so addictive. Following on from new car managers, it just seemed like a natural progression to be a manager, and new car manager was what I became next. And I just really enjoyed having the ability to watch people grow into more than what they even expected. So I loved growing people. I loved encouraging them to be more and do more and obviously earn more. That obviously led on, and being a manager for about 8-9 years, then obviously I started really putting my sights on being a dealer principal. And dealer principals are a lot more admin-driven role, so I had to learn a little bit more about the accounts and the books and that side of the business, which is not as exciting as delivering a car. But I definitely feel like I've enjoyed it, and I think being a dealer principal in a dealership, you are responsible for so many things, including the people that work for you, as well as the customers and every experience that impacts people in your dealership, coming into your dealership and around your dealership. So I've really enjoyed the journey so far, and I definitely have some more goals up my sleeve and more achievements that I want to have happen in the next couple of years, but I'm in a happy place now and I'm really enjoying myself.
I think everyone working at Hatfield, whether you're in the wash bay or receptionist or a dealer principal, marketing, when you work for Hatfield, for a man like brag capital, you are in a happy place. I'm in a happy place just being the recipient of, the sponsorship. He's an amazing, and I think that filters down to all of the staff. So, what's your opinion about? I know your opinion, but what I would like you to share what your opinion is about our initiatives.
Dish, I've got to be honest, I think any initiative that drives acknowledgement and brings awareness to the opportunities within the motor industry, specifically for females in South Africa, it's invaluable. You can't even put a value on it. I think that those initiatives drive us and drive the ability to find new people, to bring a different diversity into the industry, and it creates an awareness of how much opportunity a person, specifically women, have in an industry like our industry. And it's no longer a male-dominated industry. It can be anyone's industry. It's just someone who's willing to invest and be determined and work hard.
Absolutely. Now, do you find that there's a difference between the KZN culture in terms of the motoring industry and Johannesburg?
Definitely.
Tell me. I'd like to know.
So I think. I mean, obviously, I've never been fortunate enough to live in Johannesburg, but I think that.
Can I just interrupt you? If you are fortunate enough to live in KZN, okay, we can swap places.
Yeah. So I think there's definitely a pace difference in Joburg and KZN.
Okay.
I think that KZN is slightly more relaxed. I think that I often hear the words from head office and from regional people that live in Joburg and have to deal with KZN is that it's a different place. And I think it is. I think it's a different place, but I think the place is not different, it's the people. I think that our customers are different, the expectations are slightly different. Everyone still expects amazing customer service, but the expectations, slower pace, more time, a lot more relaxed environment around expectations of people.
And what about the gender equity in terms of the motoring trade in KZN? Do you find that here in Johannesburg we kind of, have more opportunities to move up the ranks, especially into the leadership role, as opposed to KZN?
I think that there would definitely be more. I think I've seen there's more opportunity, but I think I base that on the fact that there's a lot more dealerships in Johannesburg. I think that, or Johannesburg up this side, should we just say, I think that there is far more opportunity because there are more dealerships. So I think anytime where you have more dealerships, you're going to have more opportunities. But in saying that, I think KZN is on probably the back foot a bit on equality, I would say, but I definitely believe that some of your movements and some of the movements that I'm seeing we're bringing it to the forefront.
Thank you. Thank you so much for validating that. What encouraged you to work in the motor industry? But I'd also ask you, what keeps you motivated to stay in the motoring trade?
So I think originally as a 23-year-old, I had a couple of tick boxes. So one of them was I loved working with people. I was extremely passionate about sales. Sales have always been, if I look back even right from young, I could sell myself, I could sell anything. So sales was definitely a part of it. And then back then specifically, to write my own paycheck. I wanted to be independent. At 23, there was a drive, something happened to me, I just really wanted to be independent. So the ability to be able to make my own money, so what I invested I could get out was there. And the motor industry checked all of those boxes. Right. So that's where I came in, excited, and what keeps me there? Oh, the people keep me there. The people keep me there.
Right, okay. So, Stace, what exactly do you love about representing your brand?
It's not just about the Ford brand. You can have a logo on any building. It's about the businesses driving the Ford brand.
Right.
It's the real heartbeat of the business, and Hatfield is the heartbeat of my dealership and the business for me. The engagement between the customer and the dealership and the level of engagement will determine whether that's going to be a lifelong relationship or a future relationship with that customer or once off. And I believe that Hatfield is definitely bringing the heart to the motor industry in that way.
Absolutely. And let's talk about Stacey. Stacey's ADHD. ADD, okay. I'm ADHD, she's ADD. But let's talk about your management style.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm a very strong person, and I've through the years I've had to learn really how to use that strength and where the strength is best used. I'm extremely enthusiastic. I'm a passionate person, so I tend to be. I want to know everything's going on in the business, not just the brief. I want to know the details. So I'm very detail driven. I want to know what's going on in the business. I mean, whilst I may not be an expert in the workshop, I definitely still have the passion to drive the service side of the workshop, and I love exceeding service expectations. So anytime I see one of my team members being able to do more than what a customer expects is always a good day for me.
Well, I've spoken to many of you. I'm a journalist, so obviously I spy on people a lot. I've spoken to a lot of your employees. In fact, one of your employees drove me to and fro the airport last year, and he sang your praises and he loves you so much, and I think many of them feel that way about you because you lead by example.
Thank you.
And so that's amazing. How important is it though, Stacey, your mom, you're a horse rider, you do so much of things, but bringing back your mental state of health as a woman, as a mom, as a wife, and as an active person, how important it is to have a healthy mental state of health, mental state at work. Mental state of mind.
Mental state of mind. Right. I think it's vital. Desh, the problem. The problem and the good thing about our dealership is that people don't drive cars 8 to 5. They don't buy cars 8 to 5, and breakdowns, we hope they don't happen, but they certainly don't happen between 8 and 5. So you really do, you work a lot, and 8 to 5 is not part of my vocabulary at any stage in the
none of us in
experience. So I think the balance has got to just be knowing when to take a break and knowing to have that investment in your family. And it's really is. You've got to have the time, you've got to spend time doing the things that you love. Horse riding is definitely something that is a stress reliever for me. I don't know, there's something about riding a 500 kg animal that is not stressful. But I think if I've got to look at it, you have to take time out. I've got to be a good employee and a good manager of managers, and the only way I can do that is to make sure that I'm taking time out and making sure I'm looking after myself mentally so that I can ensure the mental health of my staff and my employees.
Absolutely. So what is the most unusual, discriminatory, if I can put it that way, situation that you have faced in the workplace, if there's been any? Because some women are actually extremely lucky to not have faced any discrimination. Have you, and what are they, and how can our young women navigate through these situations?
So I think as a woman in the motor industry, you need to enter it with your eyes wide open, and that's exactly what I did.
Right.
I am someone, I know my abilities, I know how capable I am as a person, and I do believe that a physical distinction should not make me different from anyone else.
Absolutely.
Gender, color, we all have the ability to achieve what we put our minds to and what we set our hearts to. So I believe that everyone should be given equal opportunity, and in equal opportunity everyone should be acknowledged and thrive.
Absolutely, absolutely. Any words of advice for young girls, young ladies that want to join our trade?
Oh, it's fun. It's definitely fun. So there's fun, there is definitely hard work, and there is so many challenges, but the challenges definitely become fewer because you grow into the position, you grow into your role, and I don't think I would choose another, looking back retrospect, I don't think I would choose another path for myself. This is what I would choose every day, every day. So fun, diverse, exciting.
So Stacey, in terms of how can young women get involved in learning about the motoring trade in the KZN area?
So I think specifically around our dealership, we have quite a few intern programs.
Do you?
Yeah, in our dealership.
Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we have interns that come in. These interns are afforded an opportunity to have a very broad spectrum view of the dealerships. In other words, they are moved internally within the dealership into departments, service, parts, sales. Excuse me. And they just are allowed to see what it's like, and then obviously you can specialize. So if we can see that there's a specific talent that person has, we can then grow them in that talent and help them.
Okay. And Stacey, if I come and work for your dealership, do I get to swim and go to the beach like for 2 hours a day?
No. Yeah, so we have a beautiful beach in KZN, but yeah, I don't get a lot of time to go to the beach. But yeah, you've got to take time out. But yeah, we're so busy. Yeah. We're so busy.
Look, Stacey, I just want to say thank you so much for taking out the time to come and see us, to spread some knowledge, impart some of that wisdom. Almost 20 years, as I said, it's a long time, and even if it's one person or 10 people that you are influencing to join us in our trade, so we can balance these numbers, right? We still, I think the stats came in a couple of weeks ago, 85,000 women in motoring South Africa.
Sure.
With 305,000 men in South Africa. And we'd like to, educate and empower women to understand that there's absolutely nothing wrong with finding even a male mentor. There's so many out there. And I think it's so important to understand that if you want something bad enough, that the brick walls that are put up there is not there to keep you out. It's there to prove how bad you actually want something. So success is something that we must understand. If we do not put in the effort like you did and she did, we're not going to accomplish. So I just wanted to say again, thank you. Thank you so much for being here, Stacey. Anything you want to add?
I'd just like to thank you and your team for bringing female involvement in the motor industry to the forefront. It is so wonderful to see a team so passionate as I am, about encouraging women to be more. And I hope you and your team continue and carry on bringing those numbers up, Desh. I'm watching the numbers.
Thank you, Stacey, and thank you also for being our ambassador. I've now claimed you as my ambassador. Sorry, Brad and team from Hatfield, but it's so important that each area in each province we have that ambassador to help us. Even though you're from one group, you are helping us to recognize other women from other groups, and that's what we're all about. This is not a brand where we distinguishing or discriminating with brands and the OEMs or the groups or whatever the case might be. This is a woman movement, and we all want to just be there to empower each other. So thank you for understanding that and being there for us.
Thank you, Desh and team.
You're welcome. Viewers, we would like to thank you for your continued support and encourage you to like and share our content. Our non-profit companies, the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards, powered by MFC and Avo by Nedbank, and the Talk Studios, sponsored by Seriti Solutions and Avo by Nedbank, are platforms aimed at empowering, uplifting, and celebrating the women of motoring South Africa. We are not just telling stories, we are changing lives. If you are searching for a new or pre-owned vehicle, please visit www.auto.avo.africa. We have a wide range of vehicles on sale for you to choose from. And we only advertise on behalf of reliable and trustworthy MFC accredited dealerships. This car listing portal is user-friendly, and you can also find vehicle reviews, car maintenance tips, and automotive advice, all courtesy of Talk the Talk. Talk Studios. So ladies, as you heard, it is so important for you to be able to, put in the effort and make sure that if you want to accomplish something, you must be able to work towards it. As I said, ladies, success isn't always about greatness. We need to remember that it's about consistency, and consistent hard work then leads to success. Greatness will come at the end of the day. You put all the work in, as I said again, and eventually it'll pay off. It could be in a year, maybe in 30 years, but eventually your hard work will pay off. Only when you do not know yourself, the opinion of other people becomes important. And that's a quote from my guru, Sadhguru. And with that, I would like to remind you that the question should never be, who's going to let me? It should always be, who's going to stop me?